right. Hey, welcome back to the Noonchi Podcast. We are not in the studio this time again.
It is 설날, happy Lunar New Year.
Or it's the day after, right?
Yes.
We're actually filming today, and then I have to post this right away. So, because we usually drop the episode every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And right now it's
got 4:30, pretty much.
It's like 4:20. So
yeah,
let's do this under an hour because the export time is going to take a while too. So I'm going to try to get it out by 8. But anyway, this is getting to be a little bit too meta. So let's
meta was not the right word, Bob. It was the right word is boring, unnecessary. But Bob, you look like shit. What's going on?
I look terrible, right? All right, so I try to keep this short, but basically, every time we get a break off of work, somehow I get screwed over. I always get screwed over, right? Like the last time for Chuseok, literally that last day, the last job of the day, I was in contact with the whole Dreamcatcher COVID situation, right? Put me in freaking quarantine for 10 days. Right. This time, I was like the last one at the office on Friday, right? Before a 5-day, weekend holiday at work. And then so, I was in like, we have a fridge. And I was just checking to see, like, I do my duty and I clean out the fridge of my stuff. If I have something that's been in there too long, I'll like throw it out, Right. Well, a lot of people don't do that shit at our office. So not a lot of people might not know this, but I often clean out the fridge. Like I do make mental notes in there. And then, so I was like, I might as well just clean out the whole fridge of stuff that I know doesn't belong in there. And so, because we had a long weekend, right? So I found like old hummus, like it's old salad, and it was like growing shit in it. It was like really bad mold stuff. It wasn't just like green mold; it was like black mold. It was terrible. And so I wanted to throw it. I threw it out in the trash. Not just in the trash. I threw it out in what I could in the toilet. And then I felt bad for the cleaning lady because I know she goes through all the recyclables. I washed those things out, like the containers. But I didn't know how hot the bathroom water got, and it got so hot it was steaming up the whole bathroom. And it melted the plastic. Wow. It was really hot. But I remember just, as I was cleaning that freaking mold, it like, I was like in a sauna of like moldish nastiness, I didn't think much of it until the next 3-4 days. I was just throwing up. And both ways. like I was having one of those, like I just slept by the toilet for 2 days straight. And I was in so much pain, and I figured it out. I was like, well, I didn't do a good job of washing that shit up, and I know it was from the mold. The last time I got that sick, it was from the same thing, cleaning out the club. I'm not gonna clean that shit out anymore. Because the last time I cleaned it out, I got sick too, but it was only for a day because it wasn't that much. Like I cleaned. Yeah, I remember I cleaned some fruit that had mold on it.
You know what the moral of this story is, Bob? And I think you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a nice guy. Just clean your own shit out. Let them deal with it.
I know. I with that said, yeah, I definitely that's gonna be my attitude moving forward.
Yeah.
For that reason and for other reasons that for that reason, other reasons, like I probably shouldn't bring up, like they're just work stuff. But anyway, that's why I look like shit. I have bags under my eyes. I've been, like nibbling here and there at stuff, trying to feel normal. But, I finally feel okay right now. But you can tell, right? My eyes are like sagging. And
I mean, you still look the same, really. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden you're like, wow, you aged many years. You've always kind of looked tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look more like a AV actor now than you did last week.
I'm tempted to watch like a Korean AV or adult video just to really let that sink in, because I still don't know what you guys are talking about. So, but anyway, yes, Seoul, we stayed in the whole time. We didn't go out at all. Didn't go to church. Didn't do anything. Benji also had a cold, so he had like he had a mild cough and a lot of boogers or snot, and he's okay now. But what a terrible 5 days.
I had a very, interesting few days. Right. So for my uncle, he goes, hey, come over to the house. It's halal. We should.
The one where your uncle, that your uncle's wife doesn't like you.
My aunt looks at me like I am some sort of like fraud. Not a fraud, but you know what I mean? Like I'm a bad influence.
Okay.
Look, you know what I mean?
So you went to that.
Yeah. So I went because I was like, you know what? My uncle, he's 83 this year. Right. So like, he's old, and I go, man, I should probably, at the very least, check him out, because out of all that side of the family, I truly do think I, like my uncle a lot. Right. So I want to go hang out with him. And then, so it was him and his whole family. So his daughters, his wife, his daughter's husbands, his grandkids. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm just the random ajoshi that pops in once a year. Right. And so it was interesting.
He knows that your wife, his wife, feels that way about you, or just, but he doesn't care. He just wants to see his nephew.
Well, the other thing, I think the other thing is that like, there's some people that have resting bitch face.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, it's kind of terrible to say, but my aunt has RBF. She has resting bitch face. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's not that bad, but it's just that she always looks like she smells something bad. Like there's like something on her upper lip, and she's always like just, not happy. So, here I am trying to be like, oh, where's mo igo 되게 맛있어요, like, just being kiss ass. But again, I'm in my 40s now. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have to kiss ass, but for the sake of my uncle, I did. And like all Korean, I was like, damn it, because my uncle called me the day before at night to be like, hey, come over at 5. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so like I had scheduled PT in the early afternoon. Right. So after working out, I'm like, yo, I can't go empty handed. Right. So I used the wonderful gift certificate that Collab gave me. You know what I mean? Apparently half than everybody else because I'm a fucking part-timer. But anyway, I used that gift certificate and I went to the nearby E-Mart, right? And I went old school and I bought a box of Korean pear. You know how much a fucking box of Korean pears are?
Yeah. I do.
I was like, holy shit! I have to pay extra outside of my gift certificate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was kind of angry at that, you know. And then I had I had some unopened bottles of liquor in my house that I was like, you know what? I should just give to my uncle, right?
Yeah.
So I took all those gifts and they're like, oh, 왜 이거 갖고 와? And I was like, 안 갖고 오면 욕할 거니까요, right? So, right?
Yeah.
So they all laughed, and then so we ate. But then, like, since my uncle is advanced in age, like his wife and his daughters, like, were looking at me and the son-in-laws to be like, yo, this time don't go too crazy on the booze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of my cousin's husbands, he goes, oh, let's open this bottle, right? It was a bottle of like Hennessy, but it was like old. You know how old it was? You know how Hennessy, they have a cork, right?
Yeah.
It was so old that the cork broke. You know what I mean? So we had to break the cork down and then like kind of filter it out and put it in a teapot. And we were drinking Hennessy with the teapot, and we're like pouring it like it's
There's
like
a trick for that though. There's a trick how to get the cork out. You put in a shoe or a boot.
Yeah.
And then you just slam it against the wall, or you just hit it against the wall with the bottle inside the shoe, and you hit the heel against the wall, and then slowly the cork starts to inch its way out, and then you just pull it out.
Yeah, but
anyway,
the Hennessy bottle is not circular like a wine bottle.
Right.
It looks like what do you call it? Like a Crown Royal bottle.
Oh, it's one of those expensive Hennessy bottles.
Yes. We don't drink fucking club Hennessy. We drink like, I mean, that liquor cabinet has a lot of
like XO Remy.
Yes. So we drank one bottle of it. It was a small bottle. It was like 375 milliliters, right? And so I call them hyungs, right? All the hyungs were like, we can do a little bit more. My uncle wanted a little bit more, but then the death eyes were staring at us, right?
Yeah.
And so one of my cousin's husbands was like, hey, we have to see these people often, but you see once a year, so you should be the one that asks to drink more. And I was like, go fuck yourself, man. So that was halal. I did not eat tok. They did not cook. No, we did not.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No. And you know what? Like, my uncle's getting up in age where I don't know if it's Alzheimer's, but like his memory is starting to fade a little bit, and I could see it, right? So, so part of me is like, yo, I should probably visit him more often, right? But and probably not fucking drink like crazy, right? But traditionally, 설날 or New Year's, Koreans eat tteokguk, right? Tteokguk, apparently you eat it, you're a year older, right? But tteokguk was not made at the household. So I am not 1 year older. Did you eat tteokguk, Bob?
No, I didn't eat it. I couldn't eat. So I
That's right.
You know what, we got this nice gift package from Linus BBQ. Over there. And so we made prepackaged Linus BBQ. Well, everyone else ate. I had a little bit too, but it was like awesome. Like it's like a good like nice treat outside. Actually, that was the day before Chisarlar. I guess we ate. We had 갈비찜, and lots of panchan. My mother-in-law went crazy and did it all. Did all the different kinds of panchans she makes. And then I was able to eat some of that. And then no tteokguk though, so I guess I'm not a year older either. Or did we eat tteokguk? I just don't remember.
You know what happened yesterday?
We did have tteokguk.
Yeah. You know, Sallar was yesterday, right? Yeah. So aside from this Sallar stuff, you know, to me, like we personally don't. Our family didn't celebrate it back home. Mm-hmm. You know, we kind of lumped it together with January 1st, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I gave a call to my parents, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Happy New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Now, what I wanted to say was, first time in a long time, I went on a date with somebody that I met on Coffee Meets Bagel.
Nice.
And I looked at, I'm not going to obviously show the photos here, right? But then I looked at, there was 2 photos, and I was like, angles and filters. Like you could tell, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. And I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like we're talking. And it was funny because in the beginning, she was typing in English, but I could tell that she was not from an English speaking country. Mm-hmm. Right. And the conversation wasn't flowing. Right. And then I was like, hey, we matched like maybe last week. Right. So I was like, hey, sorry, I can't talk. I have to go on stage. And then she goes, oh, what kind of performance do you do? And I go, I'm a stand-up comedian. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And that kind of opened up the what do you call it? The conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, she lives in a town outside of Seoul called Anyang, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is, Anyang's not that far. I mean, from Hongdae, it's the same. It takes the same time on the train as going to Gangnam, really, right? Mm-hmm. So what was it? So Sunday, she was like, hey, I'm not doing anything today. What about you? And I was like, I ain't doing anything either. And then she goes, you want to meet up? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And then so Anyang and Hongdae, right? What is, in your mind, the best place to meet?
The best place to meet someone that you don't know?
Right. So my point is, does she travel about an hour to Hongdae? Or do I travel about an hour to Anyang? Or do we meet in the middle? Right? I
don't know. It depends on the person, but I guess the fair thing to do would be meet in the middle. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
As I am talking, she goes, do you know any matchips? That's what she asked me. And I was like, hey, you want to eat American style barbecue? And I was going to be like, oh, let's go to Linus. That was kind of the point. But she's like, oh, but it takes an hour and a half to get there from where I'm at. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. And I was like, oh, she's probably asking me to get my ass over to Anyang. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, at first I was hesitant, but then I said, fuck it, because that's kind of my life motto. Right.
Yeah.
And then also Anyang is on the line number 1, right?
Yeah, the blue line.
Which is notorious for having the fucking weirdest people.
Yeah, I've heard.
And I saw a fight on the way to Anyang. So that was fantastic.
And they weren't drunk? It was like a daytime fight?
It was 2 old dudes yelling about them. One dude was being super loud on his cell phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the guy next to him was like, yo, you're being super loud.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was like, yo, mind your own fucking business. And I was like, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I get to Anyang and I was like, yep, filters. You know? I wasn't fully catfished, but I was sea bass. I don't know. Like she did not look 100% like her photos, right? But whatever. I'm there. And I go, yo, I've never been to Anyang. Yeah, I don't know anything about this town. So, you lead the way. I'm down to eat whatever. So let me know what you pick the spot, right? So she picks this spot and she's bad with directions, apparently, even though she lives in that area, right? So she's like, hey, and so she looks at the map on her phone and I look at the map and we're following the map. And right next to we ate samgyeopsal, right? But right next to the samgyeopsal place was a motel that was named 재밌는 Motel.
Okay.
Right? And I was like, oh.
Fun motel.
I was like, is this where because it's like literally like, that was right there. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, is this what we're going to do? Like in my mind, right? I was like, awesome. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, we'll eat some samgyeopsal. Although it's kind of not sexy, to be honest, for both parties. If you eat a bunch of samgyeopsal and fucking maneul and stuff like that, you know what I mean? You're going to smell like samgyeopsal and maneul while you're trying to bang, right? Which is...
you guys smell the same though, like, so it kind of negates each other.
No. You don't understand. It's not that I'm worried about how I smell or she's worried about how I smell. It's that I smell her and she smells me. It's different. You know what I mean? So I was like, whatever. So we ate, we a few drinks. By the way, she says this is a very, very famous spot in Anyang. I ate and I was like, it's whatever, right? So I was like, Anyang needs to step their fucking samgyeopsal game up.
Okay.
You know? So we start drinking a little bit and blah, blah, blah. It's still like 7:30. You know, we have an hour and a half before everything shuts down. So I go, hey, we should go somewhere else and grab another drink. She goes, cool. And she goes, oh, I know a spot. And so as we're walking and we look at the map again, right next to the spot was Passion Motel.
Passion or fashion?
Passion as in fucking, love, passion, heat of the moment. Okay. So I was like, yo, what is this girl? Is she like, is she down? But then as we start drinking, she tells me things that make me go, I should not try to do anything crazy today. Just for the sake of, you know what it is, man? I feel like
what?
Even though I don't have kids, I don't have a daughter. You're about to have one, right?
Yeah.
But then a part of me goes, man, like, I feel bad if I kind of manipulate, this situation into steering this chick into good time or 재밌는 Motel or fucking Passion Motel. You know what I mean? I don't understand what it is, but like something about it was like, I don't know.
If it was mutual, you would it's one of those situations where whatever information you were getting from her, even if it was mutual, it's something you wanted to pass on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't necessarily mutual. She's Korean, so she's not gonna like fully be like, I'm horny, motherfucker, right? Obviously, right? Like she has more guard than that, right? But then, like she was hinting at stuff like, I'm lonely. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any friends in this anymore because they're all married or, stuff like that. So like all these signs were like, yo, like, let's hang out.
Yeah.
Whatever. And on top of that, she came with no makeup.
Okay. Was that a negative or like, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm glad.
I've been out of the game for so long. Like, I would appreciate someone not wearing makeup for some reason. I don't know.
No, I'm glad that she look. It's kind of half and half, right? One thing is is as if she didn't try.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Right. One. Yeah. The other part is I like that I got to see this first.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So so it's not one or the other, really, right?
Okay.
But like it wasn't like she was like, I was like, ooh, man, them filters, man. You were fine as fuck. Not fine as fuck, but you were like, ooh, okay.
Did she have makeup in her photos? So
yeah.
Oh, she did.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then she had one of those like like where you put angles where the cameras. Yeah. And I was like, oh. And so when I remember looking at it, and I showed my personal trainer because I was working out right before I went to go meet her. Yeah. Right. And he was like, oh, this is an old trick. And I was like, yeah, I know.
It sounds like it should be a scene in a Korean movie, like a comedy where buddies are like, 이거는 이 앵글을 보면 이렇게 하면 이렇게 like it's like explaining the whole like sham of like how to It's
So, but you know what? She was fun. We had a good time. You know what I mean? Like,
that's good.
Blah. And she's gonna come see my show this week on Friday.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's always good. I always the way I think about those dating apps is I would it would suck to like spend time and energy and money perhaps with somebody and then it was just a waste of time, like you guys had no connection. Even if you didn't end up together, like I feel like it'd be cool like that your tribe was growing at least, or like you're getting more relationships and friends out of it. That seems like a good deal with this whole new generation of dating apps and whatnot. Like I because from what I understand, like those things match you guys, right, to a certain extent, like by personality.
Nah, she like basically she sees my profile. She has to like me. I have to see her profile. I have to like her, and that's when we match.
Oh, they don't. Oh, the app doesn't do any work for you, like in terms of like. Oh,
I mean,
if you write, can you both write, I don't like cats, and then they automatically, put you in a different pool of people that don't like cats.
No, I mean, I think you could set your preferences to like location, like like what radius. Oh, you have some
Kangen market.
Yes.
You can only people in your neighborhood or your work neighborhood.
some dating apps you can do a preference of like East Asian, white, black, Latina, Middle Eastern. Like you can do that kind of preference too, but. Though I don't think you can do that with Coffee Meets Bagel. Anyway, so at the very least, but it reminds me because I recently matched with another girl, but she was like, "Oh, this is so much fun." She goes, "Hey, can we should meet like in 4 months, right?" She's in Korea, but she's like, "Let's meet in 4 months," right?
I vaguely remember this one. I forgot why though.
Yeah. So I responded, "Are you in jail?" Like what the fuck? Like why? Yeah. Like 4 months? Why
would you say that? Yeah. Why did you say that again?
No, she said she was like on some project that she's super busy with or whatever. So I was like, "Are you in jail? Are you in the army? Like what the fuck? Like why?
Are you pregnant? Like
why?
Are you 6 months pregnant and you want to?
Seriously,
like okay,
yeah. So like stuff like that is very interesting. A part of me goes, look, if if it turns out to be like a long lasting, good relationship, amazing. Yeah. Right. Then in the middle of it. So if 10 out of 10 is a long lasting, good relationship, like a fucking 6 or a 5 would be, I have a good story to tell. Right. And on a 2 or 3, it's like door-to-door marketing for stand-up comedy in Korea. Right. So like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would do. I'd be like, oh, like, let's, hey, I tell jokes. You want to see some jokes on stage?
Danny, you know what I think you should do is like have at least that 30-minute special of just all of your escapades from the dating apps. I don't know if that exists out there, but you should just do it. Like, go on as many dates and like you tell yourself, I'm going to say yes to everything. Well, I don't know if you're doing that already. It's just not working out. But like maybe
because they need to like me too. I don't say yes to everything. I say yes to people that I go, oh, this person seems nice.
Because, I feel like, every time you go on these dates, at least the premise is always interesting. But I think I heard Louis say it one time. He was saying most of his stories, they come from, his experiences, but it's him actually just embellishing a lot on it, on those experiences.
Right.
So I feel like, the number of people you would meet over these dating apps, you have a lot of like interesting premises that you can turn into bits or just like one collective bit, right? So I would love to see that. Even society, even me being like, too late to have ever experienced the dating app, I know what it is. I know like the basic the basic idea and like engineering of it, I guess, or whatever you call the mechanics of it. So I think that'd be fun to watch. Anyway, that's just me farting an idea. Anyway, tomorrow. I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I have nothing to add except I would like to, not for the sake of a 30-minute special, so to speak, but it's cold in Korea, man. I want to be a little bit more warm.
Yeah. I'm having this really big OCD problem right now. Is your laptop lopsided? Is it like not flat on a surface right now?
It's on a flat surface.
It is. Oh, but it's facing outward, right? Or inward. A little. I don't know, but mine also, like, I'm not, if I did it like this, I'm being completely like OCD. I think I do have some OCD problems. I don't say that lightly either.
You do have some problems.
Yeah.
You're very particular about how things are done. Yeah. And if they're not done that way, then you are not happy.
I can't focus. Yeah.
But in the words of the great Tom Brady, who recently retired, there's many ways to bake a cake, my friend.
There's many ways to bake a cake. That coming from a quarterback who's probably never baked a cake in his life. So I don't want to judge a book by its cover. But
by the way, I know you're not a sports fan, but he recently retired. Tom Brady.
I know this. Yeah, I have a Tom Brady story. I know, but I actually, my best friend in college, right? Right after college, he started working in Boston, right? And he used to hang out with Tom Brady while he was a second string quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember my friend telling me, he was just like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with this quarterback from the New England Patriots. Like, he's like a friend. We're friends. I'm friends with an NFL player." Because Tom Brady was dating this girl of my friend, like that was friends with my friend at the time. And I remember thinking, I don't care. No, but I wasn't really into football or anything back then. But like, I remember my friend saying, used to hang out with him. And then all of a sudden, Tom Brady became super, super famous, big deal overnight. Like, because I think it was Bledsoe or the old quarterback got injured. So he replaced him briefly, but like just started to take off, was like, just winning everything.
Right.
And then I was like, I hit up my friend. I was like, "Hey, isn't that your friend?" He's like, he hasn't talked to him since he took over as a quarterback. Never talked to him ever again. It's like, I mean, who could blame him, right? But he said, yeah, they used to go out a lot, like just like go to bars or whatever. He had a lot of time on his hands, but then he's just kind of like, I remember that year my friend went to the Super Bowl too. Yeah, but I mean, that's not really my story. That's my friend's story. But
my question to you is, I mean, obviously you said that Tom Brady used to date your friend's friend, right?
Yeah.
But now he's married to Giselle Bundchen, right?
Yeah.
And before that, he had a baby with Bridget Moynihan, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Who are celebrity hot, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that the girl that your friend's friend, right, goes around bragging that like I used to date Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Do you think? Okay, so my question to you, okay, since we're not women, we don't know that, right? But then let's say, Bob, you dated like a celebrity, or she wasn't a celebrity before.
Yeah.
Right. But then after she broke up with your fucking depressed eye bag having S, right? Like, and she blew up to be like the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking superstar. Right. Do you think while you're drinking with your friends, you'd be like, I used to bang that girl? Like, do you think you would? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. Yeah, I'd probably say like, I probably point out her, the negative things for some reason. I don't know why. That just comes up in my head. But like, I wonder. Yeah, she and all that actually, just to boost my ego, like. But
she has hair on her. She has hair on her big toe. Like you gotta like cut her down a little bit, right?
Oh man, speaking like, talking about the past, actually, I wanted to bring up something like, I think I talked about this on the show in some form or another, but my favorite professor or my favorite teacher in high school passed away this week.
Oh no.
His name was Roy Greenberg. We used to call him Herb for some reason. I forgot why we called him Herb. But I found this out through the Facebook Music and Art LaGuardia High School Facebook page, and had a moment and was just thinking, the reason why he was my favorite teacher was just this guy was kind of he was kind of a dick, but he was like a dick in the good sense, if that makes sense, because he was always like, he didn't candy coat anything. He was always just like really straight and direct about everything. If you didn't do your work, he'd let you know. And he was an adult, but he saw these kids eye to eye, basically, and just made them, helped us grow up. Or just like we felt like equals with him on some level, But I remember just loving his class. It was a sculpture class, and I loved his class because he was so like laid back, and he'd always blast music. I remember he used to play a lot of like really good music. At the time, I didn't know it was good music, but then as I started to listen to more music in college, because I would only listen to Christian music when I was in high school.
Right.
But then I would look back and think, damn, Mr. Greenberg had really good taste in music. And I remember, how lucky I felt like that we could do our work listening to loud music and not, and being in high school and being in a situation like that, like not most people would just let you work in silence. Other classes, that's what it was. It was just like really quiet, and we were just working, and no one was talking. And this classroom was really loud and all that. I remember my senior year, and I wrote this on the Facebook page. Like my kind of like last memory of him was like, my senior year was really rough. The second half was really bad because my dad was really sick. And I knew he was like not well, but he ended up dying like halfway through that semester, And I just remember I didn't really care at that point. Like I couldn't find any motivation to finish my work or do anything like. And I remember I didn't put in a midterm. Which is like a sculpture or a final. I didn't do either of them. Right. And I remember thinking, shit, like it was the one class I needed to graduate, and I also needed to not go to summer school. Right. And I was just thinking, but a part of me was like, I just didn't care. I got into college, but I was just like, at the time, I was just sad all the time and not like motivated, and was like, but I still went to class, And one day I was just sitting there in class and not doing anything, not working. Mr. Greenberg was in the hospital getting some procedure done. I think it was like gallbladders or something like that, and Tony Bennett walked in, like the singer.
Oh. Yeah.
Jazz singer. And I just remember him walking around and looking at everyone's work and stuff. And I remember feeling, I don't have anything to show. So,
right.
But like he was nice enough to walk through. He's a painter. So he's like visiting the kids, and, but Herb wasn't there that day. So, it was a substitute teacher. Tony Bennett left the class, and I was just thinking, oh man, this kind of sucks for Mr. Greenberg, that he missed this whole opportunity to meet like a cool guy, like especially because he loved music. Right. And, I remember thinking, feeling sad for Mr. Greenberg. And so what I did was I used to carry a journal with me, which was a sketchbook really. And I ran out after Mr. Bennett, and I asked him, I said, hey, so our teacher's out because he's sick, and I know he would be really sad that he missed you. Do you think you could write him a little note? And Tony Bennett wrote like in big letters to Mr. Greenberg, keep up the good work, Tony Bennett, right? And wrote it big in my journal. And then when Herb came back the next week, I remember giving it to him, and I don't remember his response, but I think he just took it from me and just didn't really, he wasn't really like oh, thank you so much, kind of like, he didn't really do that. He's kind of a dick, right?
He didn't go, oy vey?
but like the semester just went on and we finished. And I remember getting my my final report card and just thinking just the doom of like having to get the news of having to go to summer school if I wanted to graduate, right?
Right.
But he gave me a freaking A.
Wow.
And it was like the only A I got that semester, I think, because every other class I just kind of also fell off as well. Like the semester started well actually for me in Greenberg's class because I really loved the class and I really, really worked hard the first half, So, I mean, in hindsight, I think about that all the time because, he taught me a really good lesson at a really young age. He didn't give me the A because I got him a thing. I didn't give him because I got him Tony Bennett's signature. Like at first I thought that's what it was maybe, but really it's like, I think what Mr. Greenberg was really good at was, that connection he has with people. But he also kind of taught me that lesson of, compassion and just judging people based on their circumstances as well, and also I think he kind of let me, I think he graded me on my potential for once, just because he knew that I just need some time catching up, because I was going through something. It wasn't that, like I think I could have worked myself up to an A. I definitely started off the semester that way, but having my father pass and like just not really finding myself in time to before graduation, like I think as an adult probably Herb like took that kind of understood what I didn't understand at the time, and he did me a huge solid, because that summer I really needed that summer to find myself again. Because here I am, I'm getting ready to go to college, and I fatherless for the first time, and I really didn't know what that meant, and it was a lot of coming to terms with a lot, So I really, really thought about that a lot this week when I found out Roy Greenberg passed away. So yeah, I'm really grateful to him. Rest in peace, Herb. I'm really, touched, and I'll always remember what you did for me. And I hope you're, partying with those rock stars you admired so much back in the day. I'm sure they're dead too. Not the terrible way, but you deserve all the best. Anyway, we can move on from there. I didn't think it'd take that long to explain that situation, but
I knew it would take this long because you shouldn't shit on other people about telling meandering stories because yo ass tells meandering ass stories too these days.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Now my question is, it's not like I've been asked for many autographs in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you take the time to write a thoughtful message, or are you the type to, a la Tony Bennett, write, "Keep up the good work"?
Oh, something generic.
Yeah. Because "Keep up the good work," Tony signed Tony Bennett. I wouldn't give you an A. I'd be like, motherfucker, you should have made him write like like something more personable than "Keep up the good work."
I didn't. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like in the beginning, my first album release party, people were asking me to sign sign their albums, right?
Right.
And I was writing notes to them. Like I was writing, "Oh, thank you so much for being here tonight. Like, I really hope the best for you, and that you get everything you want in life," and all this stuff. And one person I remember thinking, can I just get your signature? And then so after that, I started to be like, all right, well, yeah, I felt like full of myself for even doing that. So now I just sign it, and then I'll just put maybe if it's someone I know, I'll just try to be a little bit more like, personable. If it's somebody that I know that for some reason I know that they were really a fan, or they, it took a lot for them to come out that night, then I'll try to like put something that I said during the show to commemorate that night. Like if I say some joke or meant to, like I'll add like,
if you know the words to the song, then don't sing along and write your own fucking song.
Yeah.
Hey, phony.
Because I'll say like, I'll swear all the time. Part of my, at least in Korea, like I'll swear in Korean, and so I'll like write. I'll just write a swear word that I said that night on the on the album, and then I'll.
And I bet you those people don't know the humor of it and be like, look at this asshole Kyopo that's cursing, you know what I mean? Like fucking, 못배운 새끼, right? Whatever. Those celebrities in Korea, those especially comedians that do those shows where they go travel around the country to eat at matchips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm told that a lot of restaurants, like acquiring their signatures is kind of like a, Korean restaurants, they have like signatures of all these celebrities that go there, right?
Yeah.
Now these celebrities won't say no, but I know a trick to know if this is a good place or if they just acquired the signature just because they were there, right?
Or what's that? Okay.
If it's just the name, or what, just the comedian's name, or to this restaurant comedian's name, usually it's not that good.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But if it's like 여기 정말 맛있어요, or like if they really write like this place is really delicious on that white whatever, like 8x10 or whatever, 8po 영지, that means like, oh, that place is a shit. You know what I mean? And particularly not all celebrities, but like there's a few, like the big ones that are known to know their shit in terms of food. Right. So like if I see a bunch of celebrities and all like signatures, but it's just a signature, then I'd be like, this place is whatever. It's whack, right? But if like I have to now I have to look. Now I go like it's my detective work to be like, it's just signatures. This place is shit. Right?
I remember you signed a couple places.
Yeah,
and I was with you, and you know how I knew that place was bad? I was like, how desperate are you to get a fucking signature from this guy? I'm never coming back here again. I was like,
whatever. It was your favorite spot in Itaewon for.
Oh yeah.
They were like, sign it yourself. I was like, what? Do you know who I am?
You know what I had instant regret doing one time? I signed one of those things in Japan. And it's because I was living in Japan, and I used to go once a week because this place had really good kimchi, and it was owned by a couple where the wife was Korean, and it was a samgyeopsal place. And then towards the end they like found out that I was a musician and then I had albums and stuff, right? And they were really, really excited about that. And so they asked me to sign something for them, and in like Korean fashion, like on a thing.
Right.
I signed, to my favorite restaurant in Japan, because I went there all the time, like once a week, more there so than anywhere else.
Right.
That's because also like my roommates wanted to go there also, and my work. We did our Hush. So I did that, and I was like, oh shit. What if people? Because I basically said my favorite restaurant in Japan is a Korean restaurant. That exists. That's out there, right?
Yeah.
And one day, I'll just come clean. Like if I'm gonna get canceled over it one day in Japan, then so be it. But it was a mistake on my part because I like
who gives a shit?
I didn't do it like purposely to say, I prefer Korean food in Japan over Japanese. Like, it could be taken the wrong way.
Tell them to go fuck themselves, whoever. You know what? I realized, man, like this recent, like one thought, I've decided on, I don't know how to say it properly, but I'm actually against democracy. And I'll tell you why. Because your vote in whatever and my vote in whatever carries the same weight as those motherfuckers that are gonna take offense to reading into this is my favorite restaurant in Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, meaning like your one vote is the same as those complaining, sensitive, fucked up, like mindset people who go, this motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I go, yo, man, it can't be the same weight. It shouldn't be the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because like even in Korea where there's anywhere else, right? Like where what I like to say is like normal people, right? Don't spend their time writing hateful comments on YouTube or whatever, right?
That's
we
true,
just watch it. If we don't watch it, we don't like it, whatever.
That's
right.
True. Yeah, very true.
But the reason why is because we got other shit to worry about. You have a kid and another kid on the way, right? You have all this other stress, right? I have to worry about what I have to worry about, which is not, some random thing online, right? But these other motherfuckers, that's all they worry about.
Oh yeah,
is right. So meaning that your vote and their vote will eventually be more powerful because of this supposed free whatever democracy.
Yeah. I'm kind of sick of this whole cancel culture thing. Yeah, it's definitely the balance is off.
Right. So my plan or my suggestion is I will be the judge of all these things.
Yeah.
I am the social barometer for this is too much and this is all right.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, I really don't give a shit about a lot of things. So I think I can be more unbiased than everybody else. I was like, yo, let me, as a joke, I was like, let me set certain rules for Korean cancel culture. They're like, why? Because I'm so not in tune with Korean, like, what do you call it? Culture from back in the days. And like, they call it Cheongso, right? So I go, I don't got that. I know a little bit about it. I don't got it. That way I am more unbiased to be like, like, I don't know if we talked about this before, but I don't know if we did it on the podcast, but that social media influencer who got famous for that Netflix show, Singles Inferno. Yeah, Singles Inferno. Like, I don't think we talked about it at lunch, but I don't think we said it in the episode, but like she is getting canceled because of wearing fake shit, like fake Chanel, fake whatever, Dior, fake, like whatever.
Designer. Yeah, fake.
Right.
Designer.
Yeah. And I go, why is that a problem when all you motherfuckers, not all, but a majority of you have fucking fake shit at home.
Yeah.
Right? You know how many fake Supreme shit that I see because they're selling it at stalls in Itaewon, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, more than 60% of you got fake ass faces anyway, right? So like, like how dare you, you know, be the judge? And then they go, well, her character or like her portrayal. So Korean lesson for Bobby.
Yeah.
There's Pongke and Puke. Pongke means your real character. Ponine character, your real this is who you really are. And Puke is like your alter ego.
Okay.
Right? So her Puke is she's like this like young like rich, like I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like she's a, you know, supposed like, you know, my dad is rich, you know, we live in a well-off family. So that's kind of her persona. Okay. Right. So now that she's caught wearing fake shit here and there, like her alter ego got found out. Right. And it's a fraud. But I go, it's her alter ego. Yeah. And on top of that, just because she wears fake shit doesn't mean your life changes, you as a fan. So who gives a fuck? Right?
I personally, I'm not a fan, but I don't, that's not why, even if I was a fan, I don't think I would care. Like, I don't know. This whole thing with like the canceling, like, okay, Korea is a different level. That's what we're talking about. But like, it's, I don't know, like, they're saying give that money or endorsements to people that deserve it, and like, but the truth is like, you're saying give that money to people we perceive as perfect, but the whole perception part is guess what? Those people too are not perfect. You can probably dig something up that you don't like about them as well. So it's just like. You're kind of being hypocritical without knowing it. Like you're allowing yourself to be hypocritical about the whole situation. So like, for me, it's like, I don't want any of them to get money. Just like, you know, like this shouldn't be like the way I think people should be rewarded for hard work and for sticking with their passions, you know, the problem I have with social media and like, kids these days coming to fame and coming to money in these ways, in these new ways, is like they're gonna pay for it later because they're gonna know how to deal with having all these yes people around them all the time. Eventually, they're going to be life is gonna let them down, right? So, but society is rewarding them. Society is part of the problem. The people with we have too much control, like with that. I think people need to freaking chill out and just let things give back some more like support to people that have given their lives to their crafts. For instance, it's not hard to find out that people deserve more and have sacrificed more. That's my whole thing with my disconnect with the Gen Z and all that. Maybe that's what our parents had a disconnect with us, because there are certain things we got a lot more easily than they did. But our generation is suffering from things that our parents don't have to suffer from. Like, owning property is a big problem now, right? Like it's impossible. Because we didn't invest in the right ways. We just like figured we can have a good time with I don't know. There's all this. I don't want to get into all that, but you know what I'm saying.
Ultimately, my point is that Danny Cho, volunteer to set the rules for cancel culture.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer, and I need the rest of all the companies to be like, you know what? Danny's right. And no matter what kind of little shit and like controversy is stirred up, I need these companies to be like, go fuck yourselves. Right. You know what I mean? But instead, they're like, oh no, we don't want to lose an extra $1 from this supposed potential consumer. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I go, yo, fuck it. I volunteer to be I don't want to be the president of anybody because these motherfuckers get shot, right? Right. But like,
you know what? You should basically be this kind like Bill Burr. You know, I look to Bill Burr actually for his opinions because I feel like more often than not, they're in line with what I believe. So sometimes I don't think out problems or situations or things in the news for myself. I'll just say, which I could do, but sometimes it's like too tired to research myself, and I just go say, "Hey, what does Bill have to say about this?" And he just lays it out in like a minute talk in his podcast, and I'll be like, "All right, I just trust Bill. Bill knows what he's talking about, and you should maybe be the voice of reason for a lot of people."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Why is this a problem? Why is this being like shoved down my throat in my algorithms?" I'll be like, I don't care about this bitch and her fake shit. Who cares, right? Like,
I don't care.
You know, one of the comedians, one of these the comedians, Chegyu, he said something kind of interesting to me. Was like, he goes, when he sees like a really pretty girl with designer like clothes and she passes by him, he looks and then he goes, Shiba, right? And the reason why the Shiba is it's a lot of things, right? She's like, wow, she's hot, she's beautiful, like I would love to, you know, like be her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. But the Shiba comes from the fact that, you know, like with all the designer clothes and stuff that she's wearing, mm-hmm. It's either her boyfriend, husband, parents, or maybe even her, but she has a lavish and rich lifestyle, which I can't provide. Right. So that's why he says Shiba. And to him, that's sign of that's the sign of like super hot. That's what he's saying. Like chonna yepo means like not just hot, but she's like fucking dolled up with designer shit. Right. That's his definition.
Dude, but he goes, I was thinking about this too. I don't know, let you finish. I was just thinking.
But then he goes. At first, if the girl Phrygia walks past that girl, the wearing, she got caught wearing fake shit. At first, he was like, "Wow, Shiba," right? But he goes, "But now I don't think that way," because he goes, "I can buy fake shit for her too," right? So like he's like, she's not like ungettable in his mind anymore, right? Which I thought was hilarious. But
I was having like I understand that feeling because for a long time, actually the reason why I ended up with my wife, a big reason was because I recognized in her that she doesn't care about brand names. She doesn't care about like she doesn't have a big ego when it comes to, you know, the way people perceive her, you know, and so she didn't always wear makeup on our dates, and she's very down to earth. My wife is like incredibly down to earth. She doesn't care about certain things that I don't care about, so it was really important in deciding to, you know, stay together. And that was the whole thing. Whenever I saw someone that was actually really beautiful, but wearing really nice clothes, I did have that moment always of that Shiba moment where I was just kind of like, I can't contend like with that life. Like there's no way I can, you know, it's a waste, you know. Actually, there are certain people I remember like, I got set up with someone.
You don't have to name the name.
I got set up with someone, right? And then I remember that being the ultimately I should have been smarter about it, but really, ultimately, I just kind of because she was famous. Somebody told me, a Korean person told me, don't even think about it. It's like you can't. There's like you. I mean, look at her and look at you, and I was just like, I didn't really have to think about it much more, so I just didn't go on go any further.
By the way, you didn't tell me who that Korean person is.
Yeah,
but fuck that person.
Yeah. I every now and then I'll get a call from that person, and that's the only thing I think about. It's like, this person really, like it was, in hindsight, it's all really stupid, because really people are people, at least the people the person I turned out to be, and the person she turned out to be, I was totally off. I was totally wrong. Yeah, wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know her as well as you do, but I've met her a few times, and she don't seem like that person at all. But she seems like she's happy with her new life. So,
I mean,
But whoever that person is, fuck that fool. And I'm assuming it's a dude. So fuck that fool.
Yeah. It was stupid. But moving forward, like those are the lessons that stick with me, and like that I'm gonna pass on to my kids.
Yeah.
Be confident about who you are, and like, fuck a brand. It's not like it's the same material as like the non-brand. Be proud of the things within, not without. Anyway, what are we talking? I'm not gonna.
Wait. But I do have a question. Now we're on the topic. Maybe we can end with this, right?
Okay.
Do you have any fake designer shit?
Do I have any fake? I think so. Yeah. Something my mom gave me. It might be real, but I always assumed it was fake because I'm a bad son. I have this. I found this when I was in LA. In my stuff. It's this scarf, right? I remember getting this from my mom. It's a Burberry.
Yeah.
But I automatically just thought it was fake, and I never wore it. But I don't know how to authenticate it. I mean, I got this like 15 years ago or something like that. And so I think this is fake. But I would still wear it because it's, if I need a scarf, I'll wear it.
I think we have the title of this episode. Bobby has fake designer goods.
I mean, why do you think I'm called Big Boney?
You're gonna be canceled too, bro, because apparently that's what you get canceled for these days, rocking fake shit.
Man, I don't. Yeah, like I. If you have an answer out there, if there's any way I can authenticate this scarf, I wanna know so I can sell this. I don't need to be wearing Burberry stuff. Even if it was real, like I don't think I would wear this actually. Just yeah, I was talking to my wife about this.
Mm-hmm.
What's the brand that everyone wears in Korea these days? Montclair.
The padded jackets, the goose down.
Yeah, or whatever. It's not even that. It's anything Montclair. Like if you look up the tag price on that, or it's like freaking one like a winter coat. It's like $10,000. I don't know, something crazy, right? It's like really expensive, and everybody's wearing. It's just like everywhere you look, it's like they did a good job of like getting into the heads of at least Korean people. But for me, it's like, oh my gosh, like my wife and I, we were talking about, we were like, we wouldn't be caught dead wearing that stuff. Like, I don't want that kind of eye on me,
Yeah.
Though, I mean, I do have some nice clothes, I wear like clothes, but I don't think it's that extravagant,
Yeah. I see the way you dress. You're not You're not like flexing like, yo, I'm wearing like, you know
I
what I'm
did
saying? Like,
I did up my game a little bit because somebody said, somebody pointed out that I look like I shop at Uniqlo. So, which I'm okay with. Like, I totally didn't care or didn't, but I told my wife about it and she was so mad. And she basically told, I mean, like, she has her levels of like, all right, we're not going to wear Montclair, but you're not going to be seen, at least by your work people, as Uniqlo man. And so
you're wearing the Johnson and Johnson of clothes. That's what
I did. Johnson. I thought it was like, you know, like one of my biggest heroes is my brother Charlie, right?
Oh.
This guy is like really well, like self-made guy in the way I see it, and he's really well. You know, he's done well for himself. You know, he's a surgeon. He's like married a anesthesiologist. Like they're like, you know, they're really responsible, and some of his clothes, I saw him shopping at Costco, you know, like, and I was like, yeah, I mean, and he even gifted me underwear from Costco, like some Costco brand. And I still wear it. It's like the most comfortable clothes, like, and so comfortable underwear, you know, so I respect him for, you know, comfort over, you know, I guess quality. I don't know what the phrases, but like it's a
name brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking I learned a new Korean word recently. And I like to share it with you because in this COVID world, I feel like it is very very useful. The word is magikun.
Magikun? Like sagikun, but it's related?
Yes.
Okay, so sagikun means like you're a
fraud, a trickster. You're yeah. Mm-hmm. So magikun is it's two words smashed together. You got the second word right.
Sagikun and mandanan, someone that makes a sagikun.
No. It's apt for COVID times, right? Magikun, mask sagikun, meaning that when you have your mask on, you're good looking, but when you take your mask off, you're fucking ugly. That's what a magikun is.
Okay, it's like a new generation Una or Razor scooter,
right? So given that we can make you know, we just put up random shit on there. We should have a mask that says Magikun, but then like, you know, some sort of like funny play with Magikun on the mask.
Oh, do people know what Magikun is these days? It's like a popular phrase.
Koreans know what Magikun is, right? You know, so.
Would it work just to put Magikun on the
No,
mask?
that just means you're fucking ugly.
Okay.
Which I don't know if people would want to you know, admit, even if they are, you know. Now, the reason why I learned this is because, like, you know, on those going back to the dating profile, like the dating apps, a lot of the profile pictures that these girls are putting on are just pictures of them in masks.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? So you don't know what they look like
with a mask on. I
guess so. So and then someone wrote like, you know, 저 마기꾼이에요.
Oh yeah, someone wrote that.
Right. And I was like, what the fuck? So I asked somebody, oh, that means. And then when someone explained that to me, I was like, that's hilarious. I wanted to go back and swipe right for her just because, you know, of the honesty.
Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah.
Some of the actually, I don't want to go down that whole like. I was going to say something inappropriate, but forget it.
Say it. What the fuck? Edit it out.
No, I'm not editing anything on this show. Man. Oh, we've
Say
gone
something.
quite a while actually. So
Say something controversial, you cocksucker.
I have 5 weeks till the baby comes. So I think.
Nice. I see the crib back there.
Oh yeah, I just made that yesterday. And so hopefully it's my son already keeps trying to crawl into it. He did this morning, and I was hoping it break so he could learn a lesson before the baby came. But thankfully it's sturdy. Anyway, the baby's coming. I'm gonna be kind of busy, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know what to expect with having a second kid. If you have 2 kids out there, please give me your advice on how to, do my best to ignore responsibility. And I don't know. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Most of all, having a daughter is scaring me in a way that, having a son didn't scare me. So I really don't want to mess this up. Benji, it's okay if he gets a little messed up. It's fine. But with Lucy, I need your advice, and I need help raising this child by committee, not by just myself and my wife.
You know what I think?
You have a niece now, so you can step in too.
No, thanks. I think it'll be better for Lucy if Uncle Danny stays away as much as possible, because I am the quintessential person that she should avoid. As a parent, you should be like, don't surround yourself with people like Danny Samchun, because he's a bad influence.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. What's this episode called again? Can you actually write it in and all that stuff? I'll do all the editing, and you set up part 19. I'll copy paste.
Dude, you know how the last 3 days were days off?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I worked.
You had work?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
No, I worked. Yeah, I worked.
Oh, you had to.
I had to. I spent fucking 8 hours uploading shit.
Well, as much power I have, why don't you take tomorrow and Friday off?
Oh, thanks. Thanks, buddy.
You get those days off anyway.
All right. All right, brother. Well, good luck. And everybody, if you have a daughter, please give Bobby advice, because Bobby don't know. Bobby is legitimately worried, because even like before this episode, every now and again when we talk, he's like, I don't know, man. And I go, in the words of the great Chris Rock, your job is to just keep her off the stripper pole. right. So that's it. Right.
Well, we don't have stripper poles in Korea, so give me a little bit more insight. All right,
man.
All right, guys. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Yeah, we'll be back next week, right? Hopefully we'll have a guest next week. We've been trying to get guests more, so that's what we'll work on. Okay. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a good weekend.
Later.